What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing the Evan Williams Bottled in Bond. So this one has to be at least 4 years old. It has to be at least 100 proof, so 50%. It is extremely cheap. It comes from the Heaven Hill Distillery in Ontario. $37 is pretty much the lowest we're gonna go. I mean, there's stuff that's in the 20s, but they're not sippable whiskeys. This one, on the other hand, it's a good whiskey for $37. In the US, you're looking at anywhere between $15 to $25, depending on where you're buying it. So even in the US, it's a very, very good deal. Better deal, actually. I'm gonna nose it, taste it, and give it a mark. It says over here, charcoal filtered. Alright. It's a classic. It's one that a lot of people swear by. One that easily should be in everybody's bar just because it's at 50%. It's not very expensive. You can make great cocktails with this whiskey, but you can also sip this whiskey. So we're gonna nose it and taste it. Okay, so on the nose, there's some heat. You can tell it's a little bit higher in ABV, probably because you can tell it's a bit young on the nose. But lots of caramel. The mash bill on this one is 75% corn, 13% rye, and then 12% barley. Beautiful nose. Lots of vanillas. Great natural color on this one too. You don't need a lot of time in those charred oak barrels, especially when they're virgin oak. This one dominates in caramel on the nose anyway. On the palate, super smooth. That heat from the nose doesn't follow through on the palate. You would not be able to tell that this is 50%. That charcoal filtering really, really helps, I think, with the smoothness of this one. This is why, for me, it's hard to spend upwards of $75 to $200 on a bourbon. Because at $37, I can get something that maybe isn't as good as that $100 bourbon, but it's not $73 difference in taste. It's not even close. It's not even $20 difference in taste sometimes. That's crazy. Honestly, this is really good stuff. What blows my mind about this one is the price. It's so cheap. You can get even cheaper in the US. For $37 Canadian, you can't get very much, alright? You're talking Canadian whiskeys, but like lower end Canadian whiskeys like the basic Crown Royals, the basic Canadian Clubs, the basic 40 Creeks, that sort of stuff. That's roughly in your ballpark for this price range. This is a great whiskey in that price range. A great whiskey. Yeah, I mean, so smooth. Honestly, I'm very curious what would happen in a blind tasting with this one, because I have a funny feeling that this would beat out a lot of whiskey. Beat out a lot of way more expensive whiskey, in my opinion. Anyway, that's an A for me for sure, based on the Canadian academic grading scale. I would say 86, 87, really, really good. Okay, so that's an A. After bourbon month, I might put away the numbers for a little while. Just a matter of opinion, all right? So for me to give something a 90 or a 92.5 or whatever, it's really tough to pinpoint those numbers down. And I like those broad like windows where you can say, okay, this is an A. It's really good stuff. Would I buy it again? Yes. Is it checking most of the boxes? Yes. That's an A for me. If it's going beyond all of that, then it's an A plus. So this is an A. It does go beyond in some categories for sure, and I would not be surprised if this is somebody's go-to whiskey all the time. They have to have this on their bar because of the price. It's really, really well priced whiskey. So that's an A. Yeah, one of the better ones I've had this month, believe it or not. Okay, you guys can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You guys can also check me out on Patreon. Cheers.